Gray Atkins, Toby Alexander Smith, is continuing to get away with murder in EastEnders. Since murdering Chantal, Jessica Plummer, Gray has also killed Tina, Louisa Bradshaw White, and Kush, David Gadami. Now, as Gray builds a new life with baby Jordan and Chelsea, Zaria Abrahams, many fans are wondering just when this storyline will come to an end. Chantal's death aired back in September 2020, and since then, eagle-eyed EastEnders viewers have pointed out a lot of errors in Gray's storyline. So, as a way of easing my frustration over Gray still living in Albert Square, let's take a look back on this seemingly never-ending storyline and point out 15 times where Gray should have been caught out, or the plot just made no sense whatsoever. Chantal's autopsy. Let's go back to the aftermath of Chantal's death. In case you need reminding, the storyline saw Gray push Chantal, causing her to land on the dishwasher and some upturned knives. During the aftermath, Chantal's family was told her death was a tragic accident. But what about the bruises and broken bones? Many scenes aired where Chantal had her arm in a sling, or bruises on her body. Surely someone would have realized the older injuries didn't come from her fall, causing questions to be asked over how Chantal sustained the bruises and broken bones. A tracker in the car. It was revealed in a scene leading up to Chantal's death that Gray had installed a tracker in their car, allowing him to check up on his wife whenever she used the vehicle. So, why did no one pick up on that after her death? When Gray took the car to the Arches, Millie Zero made a comment on the tracker, allowing the perfect opportunity for her suspicions to grow, or make a simple throwaway comment to someone closer to Gray, like k.i.l.e.r. But it never happened. Why didn't we see Gray dispose of Tina's body? Following Tina's death, Gray wrapped her body up and placed it in the boot of his car. After, viewers never saw what happened to her body, which caused huge speculation the character was actually still alive. While it's been confirmed Tina is definitely dead, what has Gray done with her body? And why didn't we see him dispose of it? No one saw Gray moving Tina's body. Albert Square isn't exactly a quiet, tiny village where the roads are empty at night. If you step out of your house in the evening, you're almost guaranteed to bump into at least one person. So how did Gray get away with moving Tina's body from the house to the car? Okay, maybe there wasn't anyone in the square at that point, but a glance out of a window from a resident, someone putting the rubbish out and spotting Gray, absolutely no one saw him moving a huge item from his house to the boot, in the dark? Sure. Tina going off-grid isn't like her, at all. The Carters have been led to believe Tina doesn't want to be contacted following the allegation she tried to kill Ian, yes, that long ago. The story has been spun by Gray, obviously, but it's wildly inaccurate. A character like Tina would want to just disappear from the world and stop contact with Shirley, Linda Henry, and Mick, Danny Dyer. Surely, lack of contact from their family member is enough to spark concern for Mick and Shirley? Where was the CCTV when Kush was killed? Ah, beloved Kush. Yes, it's been months, I'm still not over Kush's final scenes, alright? Kush lost his life when Gray pushed him in front of an oncoming underground train. Underground train, yes, the London Underground, a place where CCTV is vital in order to spot concerning behavior, or simply to make sure things are running smoothly. So, you're telling me the CCTV just happened to be broken the night Kush died? Why didn't the police speak to the train driver after Kush's death? Another massive plot hole in the aftermath of Kush's death is the train driver. Police examine Kush's death, meaning speaking with the driver could have been important to gain facts about things such as how fast he was driving, how long he had been working, not to mention offering him an opportunity to talk to someone if needed. And yet, no mention of the driver at all. Did the police even consider speaking to him? Why weren't there any staff/members of the public on the platform? The anomalies for Kush's death continue, as I'm still questioning why there wasn't any staff members or public on the same platform where Gray pushed Kush. Callum, Tony Clay, pointed out Kush, Whitney, Shona McGarty, and Arthur attempted to get one of the last tubes of the evening, but come on, it's London, the capital, and yet they were the only 3 people wanting to get on the train at that time? And what about staff members? Surely there would have been someone around, overhearing the argument between Kush and Gray at least. Whitney was gone a very long time, taking Arthur to the bathroom. Moments before the train arrived, Arthur told Whitney and Kush he needed the loo. Whitney kindly took the young lad to the bathroom but was gone an awfully long time. Now look, visiting London isn't something I do often, but I have enough knowledge of the underground to know you don't have to walk too far to find a toilet. But for Whitney, it appeared she was keen on walking Arthur to the next stop, the next zone, just so he could use the bathroom. Why was Whitney never questioned after Kush's death? Viewers know Whitney was on trial for murder after stabbing stalker Leo back in 2020. While the ordeal occurred in self-defense, she still faced prison for the crime, so why did no one question her after Kush's death? Leo's death and Whitney's stint in prison wasn't exactly years ago. The police would have been aware she was arrested for murder, but on this occasion, I guess it slipped their minds completely. Why are Mitch and Karen still in the dark about Whitney's discovery? Okay. Let's move on to more recent scenes. At the end of 2021, Whitney made the horrifying discovery that Gray was responsible for Chantel's death. She's told Chelsea, Zaria Abrahams, and k.i.l.l.e.r, but not Mitch, Roger Griffiths, and Karen, Lorraine Stanley, Chantel's parents. Why? What exactly is her reason for this? Why didn't Chelsea ask for help from Mitch while in the cab? After making the discovery about Gray, Chelsea was planning on doing a runner. Zach Hudson, James Farrar, however, worked out that Chelsea had stolen her overtime money, and thus he confronted Gray, much to k.i.l.l.e.'s dismay. Gray did some digging, and, working out that some of the jewelry was missing, he realized that Chelsea had done a runner. Desperate to track her down, the killer headed over to the cab office, demanding that Harvey Monroe, Ross Boatman, give him the name of the driver who was taking Chelsea to the airport. Upon realizing it was Mitch Baker, Roger Griffiths, Gray called him, and pleaded with him to return Chelsea to Albert Square, claiming that she's not very well. In the cab, Chelsea fell asleep, meaning she woke up right outside Gray's house, but surely after discovering your fiancé is a murderer, adrenaline would keep you awake for long enough to flee, and realize you weren't being driven to the airport? Why did Whitney make the discovery, not k.i.l.l.e.? Before Chantel's death, she grew closer to k.i.l.l.e. and trusted him enough to reveal she wasn't happy in her relationship with Gray. After her death, a grieving k.i.l.l.e. suspected Gray may have been involved. It would have made more sense for k.i.l.l.e. to follow up on his suspicions, rather than Whitney suddenly begin to wonder that Gray may be hiding something. Right? The Ring doorbell. In an episode that aired this week, Gray showed Chelsea video footage of her popping out of the house. The video footage came from a Ring doorbell, and now, fans are scratching their heads as to why on earth no one has looked at or mentioned the camera footage until now. Is this deliberate? There has to be video evidence of Gray moving Tina's body and creating himself an alibi after killing Chantel, surely? Or is it newly installed? Why haven't Whitney and Chelsea told the police they know Gray killed Chantel? Finally, probably the most frustrating one of them all right now. Why haven't Whitney, Chelsea and k.i.l.l.e. told the police they know Gray killed Chantel? Whitney has proof Chantel was in an abusive relationship, so why is she waiting to catch Gray out herself? Maybe, given the plot holes I've mentioned in this piece, Whitney just thinks the police can't do their jobs themselves,